Welcome to the Game Rage Music Show.
Oh yeah, we all know what that sound means. That means it's time once again for another episode of All Gas No Trash / The Good Ass Music Show, tiny little asterisk, also the Game Rage Music Podcast. As always, my name's Josh. I'm here today with Adam.
Howdy.
And we are here for episode number 24. So close to that milestone 25.
25th episode.
And today we have a pretty good banger set up, I think. We have a nice little story by Adam. It's going to be talking about a show that he went to and an interaction he had with an artist, which was pretty amazing. We're going to talk about whether or not artists have a shelf life. And then we're also going to discuss and listen to a couple of new songs that Adam is going to be introducing us to from a local artist in the San Diego area.
Band.
That has piqued, or band. Yes, that has piqued his interest. So why don't we get started with your, let's hear your story about going to the show.
All right. So this past Friday, January 12th, I went out to a show with Johan of Heady FM, which is somebody that I suppose I work with. I do a live program on Heady FM, a online radio station, and we've also been featured with our podcast on the platform as well.
Yes.
So before I had even gone to the fucking show, I drive out 20 minutes, 30 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you fucking know it, I forgot the goddamn tickets.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it was funny because it's almost uncommon to purchase tickets and actually have the physical ticket itself, right? So for this one, I thought, I got to have the actual ticket for this particular show. So I got them in the mail maybe a month or two before the show actually happened. And the whole fucking time, I had them sitting on my desk. I was looking at them. I can't fucking forget. Every time I looked at them, I was trying to program within my mind, don't forget these fucking things when you go out from when the show actually happens.
Yeah.
Walk out the door, drive 30 minutes. I'm basically halfway to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, fuck, I forgot the goddamn tickets. I called Johan up and say, bro, I fucked up. I got to go back home and go get the goddamn tickets because I fucking forgot them. He's like, no worries, dude. You left. I left early enough to. That's
why you leave early, right?
Yeah.
Is so that in case some shit happens, you can make it back in time.
So ultimately, we made it maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes before actual doors opening.
Yeah.
So I picked his ass up. We stood outside the line and we walk in, and of course, the artist that we saw, or I actually don't know if did I even bother to introduce the artist of?
No, I don't think you've said who it is
so
yet.
The artist name is Sedona, and this is an artist I've been following probably since 2020, and maybe I believe the song that introduced me to her was Closer, which was released in February 27th, 2020. So pretty much then I've been an ardent fan of hers. And I think I reached out to her on Instagram itself and just told her how much I appreciated her music and, that I thought she was an exceptional artist and she had, all the runway to become an accomplished artist. And, any time that I was able to be helpful towards her in some way, I'm not saying this is exclusively something I did for her, but rather I just do it for artists in general. If I feel like I'm capable of doing something to be helpful, whether that's getting their music plugged on the radio or, connecting them to the right people, whether that's, promoters or anything like that, I try to be helpful. So, one situation that I was involved with back in 2021 was I was actually working for somebody, and the project was called Label Squads. And what it basically was is we were trying to provide label services for artists without actually owning their music or anything like that. So it allowed artists to be independent, but it was like a whole supportive system for them.
So it's just so I understand, it's essentially all the positive aspects of having a label, but essentially not the drawback of them owning your music.
Yeah. So, we would help them with like their pre-release, the release itself, the post-release. So we'd come up with like the marketing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was somebody that was more or less an A&R or scouting talent. And I pitched a number of artists, and Sedona was one of them. And I remember telling the person that was basically my boss, I told him, hey, this is somebody that I think we got to reach out to. I don't know where she is in terms of her career, as far as being an artist goes, but this is somebody I would love to work with, and I think you would appreciate her. So he ended up reaching out to her, and it so happens to be that she actually came on board to be a consultant for us to teach us maybe some things about how to release music or how to make things happen. Because as I came to find out with Sedona, I didn't actually get to find out in what capacity she's involved with the music industry itself, but I just knew that she knew the game.
Right.
And the reason that I know that is because one of the people involved with her project was this woman named Haley Appel or Apple. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's a creative director and somebody that had worked previously with another popular artist named Remy Wolf.
Yeah.
But also it was just the artist that she was playing with that I'm like, Caroline Polachek is a very large artist that many people know.
Yeah.
Just in general. So one of the times I actually tried to go see Sedona was at, and this is a story I've told before in one of the previous episodes, but I drove all the way out to Hollywood and I didn't leave early enough in time. And Sedona was actually playing at a secret show with this woman named Caroline Polachek. And by the time that I got there, the line had already started wrapping around the entire city block. So I thought there's no chance
you're going to get in. Yeah.
I'm going to get in. And there were a couple other shows that I wasn't able to go. She played at this place called the Zebulon in Silver Lake, and then
the Zebulon. What a great fucking name,
what's
man.
Even better. So when you go into the place, probably near the bar, there's a quote, and I think it's actually Macho Man's quote: "The sky is the limited, space is the place."
Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah. So she played a show there, and I didn't get to see her perform. And then there was one other show at the Smell, which I've talked about previously. That place fucking reeks like eggs, and rotten eggs. It stinks. It's horrible. So I just, for the last, up until this point, it's been maybe close to 4 years where I haven't been able to see her. And even when I was supposed to work with her, I mean, I ended up leaving the company that I was involved with. So I was actually supposed to speak with her like personally, and then I ended up leaving. So it just felt like fate was kind of steering me away from her. So there was actually a time where I was like, fuck this. I'm never going to go see this person perform ever. Cause I just had nothing but bad things. Like,
right. Yeah.
So, come this show, we go out to it and we walk in. Of course, Sedona's standing there over by the booth, and I was just trying to not rush her, because I know she has, with any artist, they're approached by a bunch of different people, and I'm always trying to be conscious about that, to try not to overwhelm them or be imposing or anything like that. So I was trying to find the window, and I'm like, I don't know where it's going to come from, which plays a key in the future of the story.
Key factor.
So I had it set out that I was going to get the autograph from this artist, Sedona, and I hung around the booth for a minute, and she ended up going to the green room before her set, and I didn't have the fortune of meeting her before her performance, but I was talking to her friend who is also a creative director, and I actually followed her. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we can reach out to her and see if she's open to doing a podcast with us on
I mean, I'm always down.
Without Censored podcast. And And I think it'd be really interesting to reach out to her because she is going to be directing Sedona's music video. So I'd like to hear maybe about how she formulates all the stuff to create a music video and all that stuff. So the show actually, it's time for her to go on stage. So Johan and I approached the stage, and we're just kind of meandering around, just waiting for her to start performing. So then I actually passed by this woman. I just kind of like nodded and smiled politely, like, oh, kind of say hello or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she ended up standing next to me, and I think she initiated the conversation, and I don't know what she asked me or what she said. And we just started talking about Sedona. I'm like, oh, I'm a huge fan of hers. I haven't been able to see her for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I just kind of explained why I think she's a G. I just kind of, I bombarded her with information of like of just all the stuff that I knew about her. And she's like, oh, that's so lovely or whatever. That's very sweet.
Yes,
she's like, oh, I'm actually the mother of Rachel or Sedona or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's interesting.
How interesting.
Yeah, and I just kind of explained to her that it was my mission, my prerogative to I live more or less an hour away from Los Angeles, and I just kind of explained to her I drive all the way out from here to come see your daughter, and I would love to have her autograph. And I don't remember exactly what she told me. I'm paraphrasing. She's like, oh, honey, you don't have to worry about that. We'll get that taken care of after the show. And I was just telling her, I'm like, I kind of told her a small part of my story that, for the last 4 or 5 years, I've just driven around Southern California, and it's not exclusive to just Southern California. I love discovering music from here locally and other parts of the world. And, this it's the time and the place for me to be here. And I'm like, I'm going to capture your daughter's set. And I'm going to I would love to get her autograph. And then that's when she told me, she'll help me like make that happen. So Sedona's set, I mean, dude, so there were a few problems. So,
oh man, here it comes.
I mean, mostly like everything that I captured was mostly good, right?
Right, yeah.
But her friends were surrounding her mother, who was right directly in front of the stage. And a few of Rachel's friends or Sedona's friends are rather statuesque, rather tall.
Oh, okay.
So my view was obscured of Sedona a couple times, but I made it work. I did the best that I could to make the best of it. And I mean, the music was awesome. There were a few songs where maybe the mix was bleeding. The vocals were mixing with the instruments, and it just didn't. Yeah. But for the songs that mattered, the songs that I wanted to hear, I mean, they came out as good as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And, sure enough, as the show ends, I sent, funny enough, like her mother gave me her phone number, and I just sent her like, oh, hey, I captured your daughter's set. As soon as I'm capable of uploading the videos, I'll send them to you. And she's like, oh yeah, let's go get the signature taken care of. So, man, this woman's so sweet, like very, very supportive of me and very helpful as she was kind of guiding me through. Yeah. I mean, that place was packed. Like Sedona actually either sold it out or was damn near close to it.
Damn.
And we were just, going through an ocean of people just trying to swim through.
Yeah.
And, we walk over to Rachel or Sedona, and she's like, oh, she like, Sedona has to like bend down to her mother, and she's like kind of whispering like, hey, this is Adam, and he's a really big fan of yours. And, or at least what I could audibly hear. And then Rachel's all, I got to speak with her briefly, but I honestly didn't get to explain my whole reason for being there. She never knew that I was the person that was responsible for bringing her onto like label squads. And so I just kind of like left it at that. I'm like, you know what? This is just for me, dude. Like the signature was what I really wanted. I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah.
And today, as we were recording our previous podcast, the Into the Waste, which you all should check out if you are into post-apocalyptic festivities.
Festivals, I guess.
I was uploading Sedona's video, so I was cooking while we were cooking.
Oh yeah.
So cooking squared.
Oh man, double cooking.
Yeah. So I just uploaded the videos and sent an email out to her and just, letting her know that I got the footage for her to do whatever she wants, and that this was something to preserve for all time, because this was her first headlining show. And I thought, I got to have this, because in 10 years, I mean, the way I see Sedona, I think she's like an exceptional artist, one to stand the test of time. And, to be there at the right time, the right place, to capture the first headlining show. I mean, people are going to go back and check that. I mean, nobody else is talking about that like the way I am, but that's the way I feel right now in this moment.
Yeah.
And, I sent it to her mother right now. I know it's rather late, but maybe I'll get a response later. But I just said, as much as this moment meant to your daughter and maybe yourself and your family, I mean, it meant just as much to me. So I'm glad I was able to capture all that for you and share it with you. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but that was more or less the story. So now that is another name that is crossed off my list of signatures that I needed. And man, that was a long time. That was 4 years of just waiting around, dude, not knowing if we were going to be alive for the pandemic.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Or if I was going to get hit by a car. I mean, in the back of my head, dude, I just kept thinking, please let me just make it to this show. Please just let me make it to this show. And, I got to do it. So that was
against all odds, even forgetting the tickets and, all that stuff, you still somehow managed to make to mission accomplished, basically.
Yeah.
And, it does speak to that. There are good people in the music industry still, regardless of, whatever you want to say. I mean, like her mom. I mean, she didn't have to do that.
That was the weird part. Okay, so out of all the people that walked into the room, because there was people standing around and stuff, but why? Why did it unfold this way? And I don't know if I'm rationalizing it or being delusional that maybe in the ways that I've tried to help her in the past, like trying to get her played on the radio and getting her involved with that thing called Label Squads,
right?
I mean, I try to be as helpful as possible. I'm like, is this karma doing me a favor and aligning shit? Because what are the odds that she would fucking stand next to me, dude? Like, I really don't. I can't even conceive of how or why that happened.
I don't know, man. It's like we talked about with we did our interview on the Without Censor podcast with Ed, the author. It's that ether coming down and things clicking and that's a religious experience without any sort of religion or God or whatever you want to call it. But that right there is just a religious experience to feel that in the moment and everything lined up just fucking right for you to have that interaction with her. Because otherwise, if I mean, let's be honest, if you wouldn't have forgot the tickets, maybe you don't have that chance, or maybe that window passes, or it doesn't happen in this exact way. Yeah, which is weird to think about too.
Yeah, because I can't even say. I mean, if we're talking math, I don't know what the probability of me getting the signature was, but as soon as her mother got involved, in my mind, it became an absolute certainty.
100%. Yeah.
I was getting that. As soon as she told me that she was her mother, and I think it was because I was talking so rosy about her that I was so invested in her daughter's music and just kind of seeing her as a genius or whatever, she's like, oh, this person's all right. Like this
guy seems all right. He's not some, nefarious type that's, trying to get one over.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you said this about that, the Cat Williams interview,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's just doing good things because it's the good thing to do, or it's the right thing to do. Doing stuff because it's right. That's it. That's just what it is. Recording that shit for her, right? I don't know. Who knows if there's anybody else there that was recording the whole set like you did? Yeah, doubtful.
But did they get the whole thing? No, but because I'm a
unlikely.
Completionist.
Right.
I'm a completionist. I'll get the whole fucking set.
Yeah, and that's something that she can look back on and say, man, I wish I would have had this. But here it is. Because how many artists out there never get that opportunity because obviously they're not going to be the ones filming it because they're up there performing it. And if they don't have anybody there that believes in them or really is on board with them to do that, they can't hire an intern, to hold a camera or a phone and record all their shit. So
if people don't see it that way. If somebody, I mean, because that's what it takes, right? Is that the music's good enough, or there's something for people to believe in. Because it's the same way with her friend. Her friend's a creative director. The same way that Sedona or Rachel has faith in her friend to direct her music video, she also has faith in her music. So it's a reciprocating thing.
Right.
So yeah, maybe people starting out don't have that luxury because people don't see the picture. They don't see the bigger thing, or maybe they don't understand the music or whatever the fuck it is.
True, yeah.
And they don't have the good fortune of having friends that are supportive to capture the moment or to be supportive and post about them on social media and all that shit. So, I mean, sure, Sedona herself, maybe she does have that supporting system, but I mean, this is I'm somebody that is external to her ecosystem. Right. And I was just doing it because I'm like, this is what matters to me and this is what I care about. And you just happen to be the right person.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a pretty wild story. The odds of that happening, as you said, are probably low from the get go. But hey, somehow this is the way it shook out, and that's how it happened. So I mean, fortunate for everyone involved because you got to get the autograph. She's getting to get the recording of her first headlining set, essentially.
Yeah,
which is pretty fucking awesome. So
I mean,
a win-win for everyone.
Oh yeah.
So
and I mean, now she gets to share it with her family members that probably couldn't come out, or so there's that.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That is a true service that you have provided.
Yeah,
and you do that a lot.
That wasn't just for her. I mean, I've done that I've tried to do that with pretty much every artist that I have faith in, and what else could I say?
I mean, I don't think there's much else to say. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line right there.
Yeah. So what's the timestamp?
We're at 22:10. So
22:10.
We'll transition. So let's transition us over now that we've heard this excellent story.
Yeah.
Let's transition over into the next topic.
22:10.
Yeah.
Sedona. That was like the end.
That's the end of it. So it's start to finish. There's start to 22:10. I got it for the timestamp. For the people who enjoy the timestamps, All
right. So
the second thing was you said do artists have a shelf life, right?
Yeah. So what are we calling the time?
Just 22:40.
22:40.
Yeah.
Okay. 22:40.
All right. So give me what you got on the shelf life. What?
So this can unfold as it always does into many avenues.
Oh yeah,
I hope it does.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can take it wherever you want, but so this is a topic I've been thinking about for a minute because maybe we've talked about this over the phone, but it's something I've been thinking about. Shower thoughts. Something you think about on the shitter.
Yeah.
So do artists have a shelf life? I wonder about this question because of social media and how TikTok has been able to revive the careers of some artists that were considered retired or, one-timer, one-hit wonders or whatever you want to call it. Not to say that this person that we talked about specifically is that, but Kate Bush was.
Oh yeah,
Kate Bush was a notable example of somebody that was popular in the 80s, right? And there's some people that are able to outlive that time period and just kind of transcend all time, right? Van Halen would be one of those bands that remains an arena rock band, right?
Yeah.
But maybe Kate Bush, maybe her popularity has waned over the course of time. But with the advent of TikTok and good song placement, specifically Stranger Things, the song Running Up the Hill, she had the good fortune of being able to collect royalties and I don't know what the fee was for her to get her song licensed to Stranger Things, but she's probably done pretty all right for herself just for those two things alone. And if there's interest in her music, maybe she was able to actually become a live performer once more because of that. And I guess I asked the question because for as much as I've been looking to local artists, I'm 5 years into doing this. And for some of the artists that I really was passionate about, I thought the sky could be the limit for them, but I'm starting to see the holes in their game that they're not doing certain things. And I don't want to be specific because I don't want to call them out, but and I don't know if I have an internal clock to say, hey, if you didn't do this, if you didn't meet X requirement, which would probably be something like followers or hitting a certain amount of monthly listeners in Spotify after 3 years, I don't know. You just kind of know when people are hitting a rhythm, right? And for certain artists that I've been following, it hasn't been that case. So it's like, I still love their music and everything, but I'm starting to wonder if the window is starting to close on them. But there's also, again, what I said previously, that social media has been a good tool for people to revive their careers and extend the lifetime of their band or whatever. So I don't know which one it is. So what do you?
Well, I think, okay, I just kind of want to go back and recap on the Kate Bush thing, because I do think that is a very prime example of there really is no shelf life. And it all depends on how much you're willing to work, or what work you're willing to do after the fact. So I didn't know this, but Kate Bush owns all of her own fucking shit.
Ooh.
She owns all the rights to everything.
Ooh.
She is her own label, as they say.
Oh, damn. She scored big then.
So she has made, just in streaming.
Good Lord.
Just in streaming royalties alone.
Yeah.
Between, the reports are varied, but it's between $2 and $3.5 million.
$3 million?
Just in streaming. Okay, that's not fucking like download, like plays. That's just from like Apple Music or Spotify or those sources combined, right?
Yeah.
So prior to that, it's hard to find numbers, but that song "Running Up the Hill" that she licensed to Netflix or whatever, how, I don't know. I can't find any information on the deal itself of what her deal was with them. I would imagine, since she owns it herself, they probably got it for very cheap. And
at a fair price. Yeah.
And I think that she is a smart, because the fact that she owns her own copyrights tells me that she's a savvy businesswoman. And she's probably savvy in the fact of saying, oh, these guys wanted to license this song. Cool. Hey, shit. You're the number one show on Netflix. You're really probably, the Stranger Things is probably the number one show on streaming in general. And shit, I don't know what the deal was, but it's either free or very cheap that I will license this song to you for, because look how much she got paid just off of the streaming royalties alone.
Yeah.
And look at the renewed interest that she's gotten. All the radio plays, I mean, goddamn, they were playing that fucking song on K-Rock every 15 minutes when that came out. And that song's 30 fucking something years old, 37 years old or something like that. And when it came out, it was on the Billboard Top 100, but it hit number 30. That was the highest it got. So relatively, in 1983 or whatever, when that song came out, it was really not that popular. And now here, 30 plus years later, it's had this boom of resurgence that it never really got. And shit, that song was like off of I think it was her fourth album. So it wasn't even one of her early hits, I guess, as you could say.
Yeah.
And so she was able to leverage that into essentially getting an additional multi-million-dollar payout. And that's just, like I said, in streaming. I can only imagine what other, shit she's been able to capitalize on and get paid for.
Yeah.
So if you own your own stuff, and I guess that's probably where the crux of it comes down to, is if you own it, you can control it, and you can go out and try to get it licensed and maybe have this resurgence like she did. If you don't have it, though, if you don't own the rights, it's up to your record company or record label, whoever the fuck in the grand scheme owns the actual rights.
I think it'd be the publisher.
Sure. And I know there's some deals that are different. Sometimes it's the label owns the rights, depending on how that deal gets worded when you sign the paperwork. And so I'm not sure. It's up to them, right, as to whether or not this will go forward or your shit will get licensed in another way. And if it doesn't, well, then they don't care because they're not interested. Your shit didn't work for them maybe 30 years ago. Like whoever the record company was, or whoever the person was that may have originally owned the rights, or I don't know. I can't find any real info of maybe she did always own her own rights, which is even better for her. But let's just say you took a band or an artist that had some song from the 80s and they wanted license it to Netflix for a show.
Yeah.
it would be up to the record label that owned it, or whoever the publisher is or whatever owned the rights to it, to say, oh yeah, we'll do that. And sure, maybe a series that is new or unproven would maybe target music that's didn't do well for them, and they could say, hey, low end here, let's pay you a little bit of money, and then hey, there's this upside, and now they have an example because they can say, well, look what happened with Kate Bush. If this show blows up, yeah, maybe this is a new show. You licensed this song to us for a very low price, but you may be getting paid back in dividends if this show actually does well. And then you're also sucking in the publisher to be vested in you. Whoever owns the rights, they're vested now in you doing well. So, hey, maybe they do some back end public or promotion for you that you're not having to pay for as well at the same time. So there's a lot of angles that you can hit from this if you're a savvy business person when it comes to your own licensing and stuff. So I don't know I don't know how many other independent artists, and I don't know if this would have necessarily happened if it was a record label that owned the rights or whoever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this would have went down the same exact way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's survivorship bias that she is an exception as opposed to everybody else's experience, as far as lengthening her career or expanding her lifetime as an artist.
Oh, man. Okay. Just another thing real quick. So she's like, I don't know if this actually happened, but she's basically she started a North American tour in the fall of 2023 with Bad Wolves and Eva Under Fire.
Okay.
So, and guess who's running the ticket sales?
Live Nation.
Yep, it's all through Live Nation, and I think these are going to be at Live Nation owned places.
Of course it would be through them because, oh yeah, Live Nation conveniently decides, oh, let's capitalize on the Stranger Things fucking money train that Kate Bush is now.
Oh yeah, let's who knows if they set this whole tour up and said, hey, listen, we got this deal for you.
Yeah.
You're going to make good money and we're going to make even more money because we're the fucking empire.
Yeah.
But so you've got an artist like that, but then you've got artists like, I don't know, I mean, I guess you could say, okay, the Blink-182 thing, right? Okay, yeah, they were popular back then, didn't do shit for 20 years, and now all of a sudden they're back.
Yeah. But they always had the luxury of having
being
a fan
popular.
base. Yeah.
Right. They always had a fan base. So if you had someone like, I don't know, okay, we could just use Stranger Things because it's the same kind of show. Okay, they had fucking Master of Puppets by Metallica in that. Now, that song was always popular. So I don't think that it gave it any popularity more so than with the people who already knew it, but it did introduce a new, younger audience that probably didn't really know about it.
Right.
So then that's a smart move right there by, I think Metallica owns their own shit. I think they're smart enough. I don't know. Maybe not. I have to Google that, but either way, it's irrelevant because it's just, the example is that was a popular fucking song from the 80s that they licensed, and now I'm sure it's doing well in streams just because it's been introduced to the Zoomer generation that maybe they thought, this is fucking old man music, which, I mean, now let's be real. This is we're getting into the territory where Metallica is now considered old man music. So, that's, my dad listens to Metallica. It's that kind of shit.
Right.
And so kids are not, they don't think that stuff's cool necessarily. So, but then to hear it in their show that they like, oh man, this is cool. I didn't give this a chance, but I heard it utilized in this show I like. Oh man, I gotta listen to this now. I gotta listen to all their shit. So this very well could have opened up a whole new generation to Metallica, and their library speaks for itself. I don't necessarily know if the rest. I've never heard anything else by Kate Bush, so I don't know if that will have a trickle down effect for her in terms of other streams of her other music.
I would imagine so. It's like you Running Up the Hill was the door, and everything else is what everybody else could have access to if they choose to do, or it's a gateway drug.
Right. Yeah. So, but I don't know if there really is an answer to the whole shelf life thing. Like there's a definitive answer. I think it's probably subjective to
and a case by case thing.
Yeah, it's case by case, band by band, because again, it would take someone who wants to push their shit out there. And let's be honest, if you don't own the rights to your own stuff, you have no interest in doing that because, well, you're not going to really make any money. Yeah, you'll get your whatever pittance, especially in the 80s, man. Those record deals were all fucked up back then. They were never artist friendly back then. They were all benefit of the record label or whoever the publisher is or whatever.
Yeah.
It was never to give the artist the majority of anything. So you would, yes, maybe get some money, but you're getting a pittance compared to what the actual rights holder would be getting. So maybe that could be a reason why those artists that don't own their own stuff, they just say, fuck it. Why am I going to bother? Why am I going to pursue this when I'm not really going to reap anything from it? Sure, they have a name. And again, maybe they're just short-sighted and saying, oh, man, maybe I should put out a new thing. Or maybe I should put out some new stuff. You know, the Smashing Pumpkins example, you know, what's his name?
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, once he gets out, then he goes and does something else. And yeah, granted, maybe it's not the best, but hey, it's his thing. He didn't just let the Smashing Pumpkins shit just be, okay, cool, I'm done. That deal's over with. I'm just going to bow out and just be done. He got after it and he went after and made his own shit and made a new thing. Capitalized off of, yes, he has the name recognition and stuff, so that's great, but went out and made basically the same thing, but just in his own version, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to be on the optimistic side and think that ultimately there is no shelf life. Maybe within, because you also have to think, man. I think as much as the music is important, physical appearance is probably
that's true.
equally important, right? So you have like a 10-year window where you are presentable
per modern societal standards.
Right. Unless you, like I said, unless you're one of the anomalies that you can transcend all time and you're an all-time great artist, then that basically doesn't apply to you.
Right.
But for a majority of artists, they will become a time capsule for a decade, right?
Yeah.
And I do want to remain on the optimistic side because there are more contemporary artists. Like there's this artist named Biba Doobie, and she is a huge follower of this band called Pavement. That this band didn't necessarily get their recognition or their due or become a global sensation, right? But to somebody like her talking about the music and saying that this isn't an inspiration for me. Imagine if that band hadn't done it.
Right.
And I think she actually brought them on tour with her. So it's like they were on let's say they were on a definite hiatus for pretty much when they ended up until this point.
Right.
You know, they could have called it quits at any point, and they did. And, you know, they were fortunate enough to say that this new generation, one person out of this new generation said this band mattered to me, and now I get to pay it forward to them by having them on tour and people having renewed interest.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing ever really dies or goes to obscurity.
True.
And
okay, a good example of that is AC/DC. Okay, fucking Brian Johnson does not sound even close to what he sounded like back in the original recordings of these songs. He sounds like a completely different fool singing the songs.
Yeah.
And yet here they are in 2024 booking 10 dates to go on fucking tour throughout the world. Because again, their shelf life is really infinite for them, and you don't even have to fucking sound the same. You could sound totally different, and you can still, and granted, yeah, sure, dude's 75, okay? No, this isn't a knock on him at all, because yeah, you fucking sing for 50 years. Yeah, your voice is probably going to change over time. So it's understandable that can happen. However, people seem to not care. They just want to hear the songs and the original people who did them singing them. And that's what they're doing. So their shelf life shit, they probably will be around until they're all dead in terms of, you know, going on tour.
Yeah, and they are another example that is just an anomaly.
That's an anomaly. Yeah, I guess that's more of the extreme. That's more of the exception rather than the rule.
Yeah,
but like what you were saying about, okay, yeah, you've got this like 10 or 15 year window where you are presentable. Essentially, if you look at boy bands, okay, I know we've talked about boy bands before, but I mean, you look at the Backstreet Boys and you look at NSYNC. There was 10 guys total between the two of those bands. There was about 5 each, or both boy bands are about 5 each. Only one broke through into what you could call mainstream superstardom, and that would be Justin Timberlake. And he wasn't even really the main guy of that fucking band. The rest of those dudes, yes, they had C, maybe D, C, B level. A couple, maybe one or two of them had A level celebrity status, and they enjoyed a musical career after the fact. But once they got up there in age and their voice started to falter, I guess, and maybe some of them even still sound good, but they started losing the look, then, well, that's what the whole draw was, right? For boy bands, it was the look and then the poppy singing voices and stuff. And once you kind of lose that, well, now shit, you got to change the game. And there are a couple of those dudes, I can't remember their fucking names, but they never got out of that boy band phase. Like, they still showed up to shit dressed looking the same, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to evolve to keep your shelf life going, because otherwise, hey man, that shit expired in about 2006.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so I got another prime example.
Yeah, all right.
And not to shit on this guy, but
yeah, no, we're not shitting on anybody. We're just pointing out facts.
no, this is just the reality, right?
Yeah.
So, fuck, I got to make sure if this is the right person. I think it's Marky Ramone.
Marky Ramone
Okay. Of the Ramones. Shit, let's see. Marky Ramone. Let me hold it down for a second.
Oh, I'll hold it down. Sorry, on a side note, the cat was over here earlier getting high off of fucking catnip or some sort of, I don't know, some sort of cat drug, and went behind the fucking thing where I have all the electrical cords and shit, just chilling. I know Lana Mack will appreciate the story because she likes cats, but she's just back there chilling. And I'm like, dude, you're going to get electrocuted. Like, what the fuck is going on here? It's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, that's just a side tangent. Back to the whole music thing. While Adam's looking up Marky Ramone or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
There are a plethora of examples of this thing where somebody can't escape their what is it? Their gimmick, I guess. There you go. It's your gimmick, right? Okay, look at, this is an opposite example, but okay, Mark Wahlberg. Okay, the fucking what's their names? The band they were in, the New Kids on the Block. Him and his brother and whatever. Okay, those guys. Yeah, sure, they did that shit for a while. Yes, they've done a recent tour or whatever again because they're resurgencing their own ways, because it's entertainment is cyclical. What was popular once then becomes not, and then once again becomes popular henceforth. So but when they were in that not popular phase, okay, Mark Wahlberg becomes an actor. The other brother started fucking doing burgers or some shit. Well, he became an actor too, but then they opened up restaurants. They evolved with time. They didn't just sink into their gimmick and let that drag them down once the gimmick was no longer popular. They shed the gimmick and they evolved and they turned into something completely different.
Yeah.
So
I can't seem to find I think I'm 90% sure it was Marky Ramone.
Okay.
But this is somebody that advertises themselves, and when they make music, they make it known that they were in fucking the
Ramones.
And that is the extent of their music as well, is that they can't escape that fucking moniker, or their music can't even escape that moniker either, because they were so much that identity that to do anything else would alienate everybody else. And sure, maybe that's a bad thing, because then it's like people won't come see you because they knew you for this thing. Like they knew for the Ramones music. So that guy can't just drop his identity and start new, because then he basically loses his fan base. So that's why he has to fucking tour as Marky Ramone of the Ramones. And then when he says, oh, it's Marky Ramones and whatever the name of his fucking supporting band is.
Yeah.
He has to remind people like, hey, this is who I was. This is who I am. But again, you become a time capsule.
Right. And then that kind of sucks for those guys too, because it's like, let's say you're going on tour with Marky Ramone. It's like the marquee says Marky Ramone of the Ramones with Anonymous Dickheads or whatever.
Anonymous,
which actually that'd be a pretty good band name, Anonymous Dickheads.
Yeah.
But then those guys are really you're just there to play the instruments. You're not, maybe you're going to get a little decent payday out of it, but it's like, shit, man, you're really not propelling your own career forward because you're really just doing what? Cover songs of Ramones songs, basically?
Yeah, you're just, you're maintaining the status quo.
Yeah.
And as far as for like newer artists, again, if we're talking about like physical appearance and music, yeah, dude, maybe you won't be appreciated within this decade or 10 to 15 year span where you have a window to at least try to make it within the times that you're living it, right? And maybe you don't. Like, maybe you actually don't. Maybe you don't even become a mid-level artist where you have 100,000 people following you.
Yeah.
You can do international tours or national tours. But maybe you have a situation with the Biba Doobie and Pavement where somebody says, hey, man, there was this band 30 years ago that I was in love with and they inspired my music. And maybe that band took an extended hiatus and they were like, no, fuck music. We don't want to revisit that.
Yeah.
But then it all it takes is somebody from the new generation or television for people to be like, hey, this band was really all right. Maybe people didn't see it at the time, but they get to see it now. And it was because of a younger person or television or some type of media.
Yeah.
That people like, you know,
or,
what, yeah.
Like you've said before about someone saying, oh, this inspired me. So now I'm introducing them, even though they were unknown, basically, to a whole new audience that's never heard them before because I'm popular, or whatever. And you kind of look at, you can look at like Gwen Stefani. She's a decent example of shedding the gimmicks because no doubt, right? That's how she got big with this punky kind of sound,
it's reggae ska,
like punkish sound, right? And then when she goes solo, basically just a straight white bread pop. You know, it's like I don't know. It's as bland as you can get, right? With the
and I think a lot of people are like, "What the fuck just happened?"
but then it still maintains its popularity because she captured a whole separate segment of the audience that she'd never had before.
True, yeah,
and again, thus creating the shelf life argument of, oh man, well now that I've entered into mainstream pop, my shelf life just got extended by fucking 30 years or 40 years.
And it did because she ultimately ended up on The Voice and she's kind of like a public figure and shit.
And sure, she's an anomaly too because of the looks, because there's a lot of artists I'm sure the example of that are just as talented, but that 10-year window or 15-year window when you're like between 20 and 35, you're in your peak looks years, but shit, man, a lot of shit can happen in that time. And once you get towards those latter years, if you haven't maintained whatever look that people expect from you, they're not going to be tuning in or sticking around, even though your music is still good or it's still relevant.
Yeah, they might just call you washed up just because of your appearance.
Just because of the way you look. And that's fucked too, because man, I don't like that show, The Voice, man. I don't know if music should be judged based on your fucking how you look. It should just be on the music itself.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, well, you've got someone who's the total package, as they say, has a little bit of talent musically, but has the look. Oh man, we're more looking for the look, as opposed to someone who can actually do the work or do the, perform. And looks can carry you a lot further, which fucking sucks, man.
It's true, dude. It looks carry along. It's almost to say that you almost don't even have to have talent to make it in music. Like if you're just physically, I mean, because let's not go around the bush here.
Sure, yeah,
and say that dude, looks kind of do matter because it gets you through a lot of doors.
Absolutely.
To say you're physically attractive, because that's like half. I bet people want to go to shows because, oh wow, like Taylor Swift is so beautiful. Dua Lipa is so beautiful. Like wow,
maybe I'll get to see Nicki Minaj's asshole at this thing.
Yeah, and it's like it's the marketing aspect. It's like, oh, how could for a manager to look at an artist to say, oh, what brands could I work with to to elevate Dua Lipa or even Taylor Swift. Can we get Gucci involved? Because then everybody will be like, oh, we got to let's hand her money so she can advertise our fucking clothing line, or
let's
even
give her all the Dolce and Gabbana fucking products, or all the Prada fucking bags or whatever. So that way people will be, oh shit, I need that.
Yeah.
And that's how you get free shit.
Yeah.
Man. But but like you said, it sucks that looks are, like you said, it's all the shit we complain about on the other podcasts about what we hate about Instagram and what we hate about people on there, right?
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing, because you don't have to actually have any talent, because if you look good, that'll carry you. But your shelf life, I think, is a lot shorter than someone who has actual talent, because your looks, as I said, will wane. That you will get to a point when you are not that anymore, and there's nothing you can do about it. Short of, yes, maybe, being involved in some, weird ritual that, you suck bone marrow out of, things or whatever. I don't know. Whatever they do to make themselves appear young. I don't know what it is. I'm not involved. Okay. I'm not in the cult. I don't know. So I definitely won't be looking great in shit. I probably don't even look great now in my mid 30s, let alone fucking, when I get 10 years down the road from now.
Hey, but what have we talked about before, though? I mean, we thought, hey, if we have a chance at, going anywhere with this, it's not off our looks.
Oh, definitely not.
So if we end up having longevity and people are interested in what we're talking about, it's really about who we are as people and what we have to say. People are interested in what we say, which I would sincerely value.
Yeah.
Far greater than if people thought I was attractive or not.
Absolutely.
It's substance. It's substance.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah.
I would rather have people stick around. And again, that just increases our shelf life, because if someone's sticking around for the actual content as opposed to this veneer of beauty or whatever you want to call it. Because that's the other thing. These motherfuckers don't really look like this.
No, they don't.
That is makeup and CGI and fucking whatever kind of crazy holograms,
whatever apps they use to Facetune or
there are plenty of examples of that. So even though you're being sold this veneer of beauty, it is just that. It is a very thin layer of horseshit, and really, it's just they're one filter away from relevance, from being irrelevant, essentially.
Yeah,
and one bad video away from just being up. Nope, that's it. The draw is gone because I really saw how you were, and now you're, and that's it. Yeah. So now you don't have the talent to support it or back it up. So, man, that sucks.
But I do. I mean, as difficult as a road as it might be for an artist, I think we said it before, but I do want to ultimately believe that, if you're not appreciating your time, keep cooking.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who you're gonna rub the right way.
Yeah.
And your payday might not be today. It could be fucking 10, 15, 30 years from now. Who knows? Kate Bush, dude. She made $3 million off of
just having a song in fucking Strangers in a TV show.
Right.
And you made all this fucking money.
Right.
So yeah, keep cooking, because you never fucking know. And honestly, Kate Bush seems like the type of artist who does it because she loves it, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that people need to, I think, maintain relevance, is that you just do it because you love it. And if that's the case, if the talent is there, the shit will last. It will last. It will outlive you, basically. The work will outlive you.
Yeah, and I feel like you shouldn't be, and I know I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, because I think ultimately everybody wants some kind of monetary gain out of the work. I mean, equal pay for like the work that you do, right?
Yes.
But there's also the aspect that you want, I mean, maybe it's innate to humans in general that you want to leave some kind of legacy behind it, whether that's through art or your children.
Yeah.
Like, I think artists feel that way too, that, I mean, again, you don't know what's going to happen after you die. If you've made music, maybe you're not going to be appreciated in your time, but the possibility is there that there could be an audience for you. I mean, H.P. Lovecraft wasn't somebody that was appreciated during his time.
That's true,
It was
man.
well after the fact that people looked into his books and his whole universe with Cthulhu and all that shit. I know that's kind of like a seemingly on a tangent.
It's a good example, though.
But that's somebody that was also an artist, so to speak, or a writer that was not appreciated in his day and time, and it came well after the fact that he fucking died.
Dead and gone.
Yeah. So so initially I thought about only doing one song.
Okay.
For this episode. Yeah. But I just thought of something. I just remembered an artist released, or rather a group released music. And this is a band that we've talked about in the past. This is a band called Sheer Mag from Philadelphia. They do like 70s rock type of sound. It sounds kind of like Thin Lizzy and shit.
Okay.
So on one of the previous episodes, we were talking about how Jack White's Third Man Records decided to sign Sheer Mag, and they had the potential to sign them back, I think 10 years ago in 2014, or maybe a little bit further back, as somebody from the record label themselves had saw the band or knew of the band, thought they were great, but didn't do anything. And Sheer Mag themselves actually had to go out and say, hey, we want to be a part of your record label. And then it eventually happened. So I would like to talk about the band that I was talking about from San Diego, but I also would like to talk about Sheer Mag. In comparison to what they were doing previously, I want to play one song from their old discography, and then the latest song that was released, so you could see how their music has changed.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So wait, what is it? It's Sheer. How do you spell it?
Sheer Mag, SHEERMAG. But I want to start with this other band's first.
Oh, okay. Give me the one you want to listen to first.
All right. So this band is called 12 Gauge Trixie.
12 Gauge Trixie. What a name. 12 Gauge. Gauge Trixie. Oh, there it is. 12 Gauge Trixie. Okay, so is there a specific song?
Yeah, let me look for it real quick.
So yes, so while Adam's doing that, in case you didn't figure it out, this is the portion of the episode where we're going to play music. And if you're listening to us live on Heady FM, then you will be hearing the actual songs. You'll be hearing the songs that we're going to listen to, and you will not have to go ahead and, find it and pause it and do all this stuff that you normally have to do.
Wait, what?
But if you're listening to it on the podcast version, then yeah, this will be when you pause it, we'll give a countdown, pause it, and then
okay, so
go.
you're doing two different versions.
Yeah, no, I'll just do like I did with the album review one. I'll just save the version that is this version that we're doing live right now, and then I will cut out the songs and then stitch it back together and then save that version as the podcast version, basically. So
the song is shit.
Oh Jesus!
Get to the point.
Get to the point. Oh, cool. That's on the top songs part. So
notice that this band doesn't have a large following or anything. As I said before, they're from San Diego, and they caught my interest. I'm like, this is got some potential. So we're breaking ground here with
breaking news.
12 Gauge Trixie. That I'm very excited about them. So I just want to hear Josh's opinion on this band. So I don't know anything about them as far as fun trivia, so that's something we're gonna have to learn about them as their journey continues, but at least for now this is an introduction to them, and I hope you enjoy it.
All right, so for everybody paying attention, this is gonna be Get to the Point by 12 Gauge Trixie. So if you are listening on the podcast, you know what to do. So here we go. Oh, I fucked it up.
Check.
Wait, hold on. I got to switch it back to the
check W.
Man, these fucking things. All right. Now it should be going. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. And this will be Get to the Point. Wait, let me reset it. Okay, here we go. Get to the Point by 12 Gauge Trixie. All right, that was Get to the Point, 12 Gauge Trixie. And man, I have to say, that slaps. I like that shit. That man, it was start to finish. It started off just a little bit not slow, but it lets you know, hey, this is about to fucking punch you in the dick. And then it immediately punches you in the dick for the next, I don't know, minute and like 45 seconds. And then it hits you with that little, like, it's after it just gouged out your eyeballs and skull fucked you, it cuddled you at the end. It gave you that little closure with that little breakdown. It was the big spoon and you were the little spoon after it just fucked your face. And that was nice to hear. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So how'd you come across them? Just bullshitting around?
So I came across the band on Instagram, and then I started looking at posters, or rather, there was a post of shows that they were going to play for this other band. I'm like, an all girl group, or mostly an all girl group, like three chicks and I think two guys. I'm like, sounds interesting. So then I went on their Instagram profile, and then I checked out their Spotify profile and checked out their music, and I heard this song. Like, this is pretty fucking good. And I think the thing that made me gravitate towards it is that, and I know it's not immediately reflected in the music, because this is more punk, and what I'm about to describe in comparison to them is Guns N' Roses. And I don't know if this is technically their first album, but there was this album called Guns N' Roses Lies, and it was like a live album, and it was when they were starting out or whatever. The first track on it is called Reckless Life, and it just has that kind of high energy, high octane sound.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from it. But I also get this other aspect where there was this punk band in the 2000s. It was called the Distillers, and it was a punk rock band with this woman who fronted it. Her name is Brody Dell, I think is Brody Dell.
Yeah.
And she has like a gravelly voice, and this girl, well, I think she has a better voice than her, but it's reminiscent of that. There's like the graveliness, but when you notice in the other portions of the song, she kind of has like a softer, more sensual tone.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that shit's kind of hot. Yeah.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is.
But it's cool that there's this dynamic of her being this rock, having that rock gravelly voice, and then her, and also having that sensual voice in other parts of the verses and stuff. So it's that blend. It's the hard rock sound, and maybe punk as well, that comes across as Guns N' Roses punkish to me, but also with the awesome vocals. And I don't know, this group is just it just stands out to me, and I think I hope better things are on the way for them, even though we are talking about them on the program. And then hopefully we're helping them out.
Well, we get ahead of a lot of these things. You you are the true mastermind behind all these things. You find all the shit. Yeah. And this, again, they've got 3 singles, all of them from 2023. So they are fresh off the gates. There is no
hot off the press.
It's not like they've been around for a hot minute. This seems like they are very fresh, and they're doing shows, you said, at places or what?
Yeah, probably local to San Diego right now. But if you want to follow them, let's plug their socials.
Plug their social media page. Let the people know how they can follow 12 Gauge Trixie.
Let the peons know.
I would imagine that the peasants who have the Instagram would just be interested in. I'm sure it's just at 12 Gauge Trixie, but I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that if it's not. What if it's something completely different?
Man, look, you guys are weenies, man. You don't even plug your social medias and your product.
Man,
making me do the fucking extra.
Man, we gotta do the work. Shit. Well, you know what? But that's what we're here to do. The right thing. To do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because shit. It'd just be fucking bullshit if we didn't plug their stuff. All right, what is it? What do you got?
So Instagram, their Instagram tag is simply their name. No underscore characters in between the words themselves.
At the number 12.
12 Gauge Trixie. So it's all one word, spelled exactly like their name. And there are 2 more songs. So
from them? You want to hear all?
No,
someone else.
So now we're transitioning over to Sheer Mag. So let's hear a song from their previous discography versus what they're releasing with Third Man Records.
Sheer Mag. Okay, so what is
the song I want to hear is called Nobody's Baby.
Nobody's Baby. Let me see if I can find it here on the. Oh man, it's not in their top songs. Let's see.
It should be in their compilation album.
Oh, compilation 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it should be in there. It should be one.
I like that font that they have.
Oh yeah, dude, it's good. Cool, it's very 70s.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. What was it called? Wait, shit.
Nobody's Baby.
Nobody's Baby. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it's the last song. Man, making me fucking work for it.
Yeah.
All right, so let me pause it, go back. All right.
So this is the Sheer Mag that many people knew in their earliest days.
Okay.
And now they've transitioned. Well, you'll see with the Third Man Record sound that they've.
All right, so this is the first. This is before they were with Third Man Records,
right? This is
pre.
This is pre Third Man Records.
All right, so pre Third Man Records. Nobody's Baby by Sheer Mag.
That's the.
All right, I'm being told that. Oh, you know what? Wait,
what did you pick?
Oh, I think I clicked the wrong.
There, that's it.
Yeah, all right. All right. Redo. That was the beginning of Night Isn't Bright. So if you want to hear the rest of that song, you're not fucking wondering, whoa, what was that? I enjoyed that beginning.
Yeah.
I just clicked the wrong fucking song because I'm an idiot. So anyways, all right. So now this is for real. Nobody's Baby by Sheer Mag. All right. That was Nobody's Baby, Sheer Mag. I will say, I mean, I didn't think that was bad, but I kind of felt in terms of production, not production value, the mixing, I guess is probably the right term.
Yeah.
I feel like that guitar was like with that effect they have on the voice. I feel like the guitar was like way too hot because it was kind of blend. It was kind of, I don't know. It was kind of fucking muddling the vocals a little bit. I felt like
that effect I think is called slapback, like it's reverb or yeah, it's slapback.
Yeah, it sounds like it's on an old kind of microphone, right? Like,
yeah,
I guess.
I like it.
I like the sound of it, but like I said, I just feel like they need to dial back the fucking guitar. No, you don't think so?
I think it's perfect the way it is. I like it kind of crunchy. The way whoever ended up doing the engineering for this song and the mastering, I thought they did. And I don't know, maybe that's just a difference of opinion, but I thought the song was great as it was, and maybe you'll have a different opinion with them being on Third Man with their latest song or one of their latest songs. I think the song was actually released this past Friday. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So let me see if I can remember the name of it.
I'm assuming it's off of this album called Playing Favorites because that's their newest one.
Well, the song is called Moonstruck.
Oh yeah, it's on that album. Yeah. All right.
Oh, wait, is it an EP or an album?
I mean, it says, it's a pre-release. It's got
so they're releasing
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's got 11 songs. I don't know what the minutes are on all of them, but
when is the release date? It
says March 1st, 2024.
Oh, so that's a full-length album.
Yeah.
Maybe
we're even further ahead of the curve than we thought.
Well, shit. I mean, I was just gonna say maybe we review it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down.
Yeah,
that sounds like a hell of a time.
Goddamn, all the way to
fucking March 1st. God damn it.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know if I want to save this phrase because I definitely have. I think this. I mean, maybe I won't say it.
What is it? All right.
Because they're okay.
Is it about the band?
Yes, but I mean this in an endearing way, and it's not going to come out that way.
Oh, all right.
Should I even say it?
I mean, I kind of want to know what it is.
Oh, my God. Okay, because, I mean, the people that I imagine it catches fancy to is people from, like, the South and, people that have Corvettes and Thunderbirds with, like, mullets and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this definitely has like a nostalgic feel to it. So
yeah, I can see that. I don't think that's negative.
No, but the name of the group of people.
What, rednecks?
No, white trash.
Oh, white trash. Oh, that's not negative. It's a fact.
Yeah, like I think this is like good white trash music, like Molly Hatchet.
Yeah.
Maybe like ZZ Top or something. Like it has.
Hey, just because white trash people listen to it and like it doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah,
they have good songs.
Well, I just mean that in terms of a media appeal, like it would. Yeah, it would curry the favor of them.
Yeah,
but it just sounds good because it's just a great band in general, I think. But anyways, now we can talk about the. Now we could talk about the latest release, which is Moonstruck, and it's going to be on their forthcoming album that's titled what?
Playing Favorites.
Favorites.
Which will be out March 1st, 2024.
Pog. All right. So
Pog.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and listen to it and then I don't know if you'll see maybe an evolution in their sound. Maybe
maybe I'm a normie and I'm dumb and I won't see it. Who knows?
Let's hear what you have to say after we listen to it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is Moonstruck by Sheer Mag. All right, that was Moonstruck by Sheer Mag. And I would just like to say that If you currently drive a Trans Am or a Firebird, this should be on 8-track in your fucking car.
Oh yeah.
And the description of appealing to the white trash segment of America,
dude,
spot on. Fucking spot on, man.
Dude, I was thinking of like, dude, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't want to cut. I'm gonna cut you off real quick.
Go ahead.
I was thinking in my head, this is some good ass white trash music. Like,
and you're not wrong, because I literally, all right, in my head as this song was playing, I imagined myself in a T-top fucking Firebird with the fucking T's pulled out. Okay,
yeah.
And I'm driving down a fucking fall road and my hair is blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's like a road trip compilation of me in the South. Okay, I'm going somewhere to do something. I don't know, but that's the image that I got in my head.
I got a little grimier. I'm thinking fucking trailer park, wife beater on, stained with grease stains,
a fucking can of
boxers,
half drunk can of PBR in your hand.
Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon, dude, sitting on a fucking lawn chair and just cranking on the tunes. And it's so powerful that this music is just creating that imagery, dude.
It's the middle of summer and you've got the hose and the kid is in the pool, the little kiddie pool, and you're just squirting him with the fucking thing. Like that's definitely what that is about.
And what about the song itself? What did you think?
I actually enjoyed that one more than the first one. So,
this one. Okay, so what else do you have to say about it?
It's very much. This is some like that fucking rhythm in the background. That's some fucking. It's like a Lynyrd Skynyrd song, but better.
Yeah, dude, that's the exact same thing I was thinking. They've transitioned more into a southern rock type of sound.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually expecting them to have a pedal steel guitar in the beginning, and there was a little bit of piano, and there's also the acoustic guitar, like to accentuate different, throughout the song you kind of hear it, but the riffs, like, oh my god, the bass line, the buttery bass line, dude, is extra savory, and the guitar riffs, I'm like,
that was fucking excellent.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I'm gonna shave my head with a mullet.
Yeah, oh, dude, definitely. I'm going out the back. You're gonna have the rat tail going on.
The rat tail, right?
Yeah, man, it's mullet city up in here from now on.
Yeah, and I think melodically, this song is more accessible than their previous music, because this is more like soft rock, southern rock type of sound, and they've really become polished, I think, compared to their other stuff, because their second album, I wasn't really all that much into it because it was more of like an 80s hair metal type of sound, and I don't know if it really fit them, but this is like, it feels like a smooth transition. And like I said, I mean, the guitar riffs were fucking awesome. There was actually a part in the song where I forgot the woman's name, but the vocalist is repeating these verses or the chorus, and you can actually hear finger sweeps in the background. It was I'm like, oh yeah, oh man, it was like Wayne's World type of shit.
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that was sweet. I enjoyed it, and we're definitely gonna have to do an album review of this new album that comes out March 1st.
All right, cool. Then we have our
well. If nothing comes out between now and then, we have our next fucking album review.
Oh yeah, ultimately,
I'm hoping that there will be some shit that comes out, but
yeah. So I mean, shit. At least we have a episode planned in the future.
That'll be our first March, the first album review of March
for sure. I mean, if it's coming out the same,
So yeah,
I actually have a funny story to share about this band, because I actually went out to. Well, I met one of the members. It's the guy that actually plays lead guitar in the band. And his brother, I think, is also in the band. He's the bass player, so they're both equally talented. I can't remember, his last name is Seal. Maybe you can hold it down and.
Oh yeah, I can hold it down. So, another imagery that plays when singing this song or when hearing this song is some sort of orange fucking high speed car running from the police. I get that imagery. A lot of. Just a lot of good times. This is like a good. It's like a good time song, I guess. It's like a good old boy having good old times. That's shit. That's what the name of the album should have been. Good old boys having good old times.
Ah man. So interesting enough, they actually appeared on Late Night with Seth Meyers at one point in 2016.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow, that's a very interesting fact.
Yeah.
I wonder if there will be more appearances in the future, considering that they're with a
Third Man Records, Jack White.
You would imagine
if you know Jack White, you know the White Stripes and his solo project. So,
and you would imagine that label has the juice, as they say.
Oh yeah,
to get shit done.
Let's not pretend that now Live Nation is savoring at the opportunity to work with Sheer Mag at this point.
Yeah.
Well, after the fact, they've been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
Only now do they see the light on this band.
Oh yeah, because they can see the dollar signs.
Yeah. So just to quickly enlighten you all, the roster includes Tina Halliday, who I imagine is the vocalist, Matt Palmer. I think he's the rhythm guitarist of the group, and then Kyle Seeley. I don't know which one's which. I think Kyle is the lead guitarist, and Hart Seeley is the bass player. So it's either one of the two is the lead guitar player. Well, anyways, so the first time I got to see them was like back in 2019. I got to see them perform at this place called the Observatory in Costa Mesa / Santa Ana.
Okay.
So got to see them perform there, and then like a day afterwards, they played at this place called the Zebulon, which Sedona played at. I think a couple years later, but they were actually the headlining band for that show, and or at least I think they were. Well, anyways, so that particular show, I mean, dude, the people were fucking rowdy. I mean, I was up close and personal with the band. I was right in front of the stage, and I mean, people were fucking mosh pitting and everything. And I actually have a scar on my arm because I cut myself on the show, and there was a guy that was standing next to me that was taking pictures, and he saw I was capturing a video, and this guy, I forgot his name. I think his name is something Cowan. Well, anyways, this guy takes photographs of like different artists. And I went on his profile, and he took pictures of like Billie Eilish and a bunch of other people.
Oh shit!
He's great photographer, great dude. Yeah. If I can, I think his Instagram account is like Hello Matt Cowan. So I think his name is Matt Cowan, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
So we were like capturing this shit, right? And it was like months after the fact that particular show. I mean, I don't know why, but that show, everybody was like hot blooded. There was, it was sold out, I think. And it eventually became the live album for.
Oh, okay.
And the guy that was standing next to that took the pictures, his photographs were one of the photographs that he took ended up being the cover for the live album.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I captured the entire set of that group. So I tried offering it to them because I was like, well, maybe I can get like free tickets or something out of this. And they never responded. I'm like, whatever, fuck them.
Oh,
like,
man.
Yeah. I was trying to be cool, man. Like, I mean, shit. I would love to, capture more video footage of them and shit, but I'll eventually post it on YouTube. I actually have maybe a clip of them on my YouTube channel, but it's only like one song. But yeah, I mean, these guys are really cool, and I mean, shit. Now we're gonna be reviewing them in the future, so we've got our at least we have one episode planned out for next, in the next 2 months, I believe.
Hell yeah, within the next 6 weeks.
So yeah, well, hopefully you enjoyed the music, and I don't know, we'll see what we got planned for next week. So yeah, that more or less wraps up the episode. You got anything else to say?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. Just, our usual, you don't fucking follow us on anything. So as we said earlier, go follow these bands on their stuff and support them at least, because Jesus Christ, at least somebody should get some support out of this.
Yeah, dude. I mean, shit, make Sheer Mag the top artist at Third Man record label by supporting their music and getting their follower. Send them to the fucking top, dude. They fucking deserve it.
And then if you're gonna do that and you're gonna comment on their stuff and say, hey, at least say
all gas, no trash.
Yeah, all gas, no trash. Game Rage Magazine. They were the ones. They were the ones talking about you.
Yeah.
Please, we're only here because of them. And then maybe then they'll talk to us. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not. But
hey, we do the dirt. We do the dirt.
A boy can dream.
Yeah, a boy can dream.
And that's true. Yes, we do the dirt. Dirt McGirt.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So yeah, thanks for listening. Go fucking see us on the stuff on the social medias, and don't sleep on the Wasteland Weekend podcast, Into the Waste, which will also be on Heady FM in the coming in the coming days, a new episode will be up just to experiment and see what happens. So give it a listen if you enjoy it, and let us know.
And give your balls a tug.
Yeah, and then give your balls a tug, and don't forget to follow us on everything. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please, we really need it. We really need it.
Yeah.
we really.
Terms and service may change.
That was the Game Rage Music Show. Thanks for listening.